Throughout mankind's history, humans have evolved to adapt and transform the landscapes they occupy. Sadly, this so-called evolution has left our planet in a dangerous predicament. As we distinguished ourselves from primates, we began to capitalize on the gifts of Earth in order to ensure our survival. Shortly after, we understood that we could increase our planet's output with slight modifications to the landscapes. From there, the exponential growth of man's urge to transform and maximize output has brought us to this reality where Earth is running out of resources, cities are spilling over, and the clock is slowly ticking towards our species' extinction. Is it too late? Waiting for the answer to that question before taking action will inevitably lead us to our doom. Thankfully, some have taken matters into their own hands in hopes that more will follow to preserve our planet. In an architectural context, sustainability is a term often used to qualify the previously mentioned yearning for action. Sustainable architecture focuses on minimizing the detrimental impact to our environment caused by construction in every related field. Designing more efficient buildings using renewable energy, carefully selecting building materials, and construction methods are all crucial to a more eco-friendly architecture. In a broader spectrum, sustainability can be divided into three areas: environmental, economic, and social. Environmental sustainability consists of modulating our consumption to reach equilibrium with Earth's ability to replenish itself. Economic sustainability focuses on the equal opportunities for financial freedom regardless of the community in which one lives. Finally, social sustainability aims to provide a safe and healthy environment for all groups of people. In order to exemplify the previous information, I made my way to the Frédéric Back Park on the eastern side of the island of Montreal. Let's begin with the history of the site. In the 1960s, the Miron Company was a flourishing manufacturer of cement, aggregate, asphalt, and many more stone-derived construction materials. At the time, the company had a fleet of 800 vehicles and owned the highest towers on the island of Montreal. In 1968, the Miron Company diversified their activities by starting a landfill in depleted regions of their quarry. In 1984, the city of Montreal purchased the land. 4 years later, they commissioned the destruction of the two iconic towers, which had become a symbol of Montreal's expansion. However, the site remained active until the year 2000, when the city decided to permanently close the landfill, which had accumulated some 41 million tons of waste. In 2017, the Frédéric Back Park was inaugurated and became one of the largest landscape rehabilitation projects in North America. The project aimed to transform 380 acres of depleted and contaminated land into an urban park half the size of Central Park. The installations should be 100% completed by 2025. However, parts of the park are already open to the public. In terms of sustainability, this project sets the benchmark. Environmentally speaking, planting trees and creating green spaces are the most direct way to help the environmental crisis. Throughout the park, there's an extensive mix of vegetation. Small areas of the park were carefully arranged using bushes, plants, and trees, yet the vast majority was left wild and free to flourish as it pleases. This led to a beautifully wild area sprinkled with interesting features. Perhaps this landscape embodies the picturesque combined with the naturalness of wild vegetation. Surrounding the park are very interesting buildings. Combining modern architecture with a large natural landscape enhances the visitor's experience. On the western side of the park, the new Sarka Stadium amazes us with its unusual shapes and textures. Finally, the most vital structure is the power plant. The network of spheres scattered across the park contain valves and chambers that catch the methane produced by the decomposing waste buried beneath. Channeling the methane to the facility are hundreds of kilometers of pipe that lead to the power plant, where the methane can then be used to produce electricity. The park tends to the social needs of Montrealers and tourists alike. It was designed for recreation and leisure, while the pavilion was built to host a myriad of festivals and events. As we know, Montreal is renowned for its festivities and diversity. This aspect is not so much demonstrated in the design, but rather by the events taking place at the site. A good example of these festivities is the Faya Saint-Michel, held once a year. This Spanish celebration expresses one of Montreal's many cultures. For 3 days and 3 nights, different shows and activities take place at the entrance of the park. From music to pyrotechnics, it's all there. In sum, the Frédéric Bach Park is a testament to our capacity of mediating the harm we have done to the planet. Perhaps the most effective way would be to reduce the initial impact. Nevertheless, the past is done and we can only act on the future as the creators of the park have done here. As time passes, the vegetation will grow denser and wilder, and hopefully in 20 years we will see a beautiful park of mature trees, plants, and brushes. For now, there is still much work to be done to complete this immense sustainable project.